Good afternoon, everybody. I would say I'm sitting on the front porch, however, I'm not. I'm sitting in a garden chair outdoors, but it's beautiful here in southeast coast of Florida. I wanted to share today some of the memories that I have of what I know to be fact about World War II. So much of what is said today, I believe, is untrue and is propaganda or whatever you want to call it, is not true. My mother had 7 brothers. 2 of those brothers, George and Woodrow, enlisted in the Army shortly after Pearl Harbor. That's the Japanese bombing of Pearl Harbor, of course. And I was not ever able to talk to them until we were all a lot older. They were in their mid to late 70s at the time when I was allowed to interview both of them and ask questions. It was a very difficult thing for them to have discussed before that time, and we just didn't bring it up. So I asked for permission and gained that and did ask questions. Oh, crap! Scared me to death. A leaf fell over me. I thought it was some kind of critter. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, Uncle George and Uncle Woodrow both enlisted. They trained at Fort Benning, Georgia. Their first duty station was actually they went to England on a troop ship. Their first actual experience in the battle was when they landed at Omaha Beach on D-Day. Omaha being just outside Normandy, France. Uncle Woodrow was a truck driver, bus driver. He was in the second wave, and Uncle George may have been in the second or third to land. They were able to stay in touch because of Uncle Woodrow's being the either ambulance or truck driver at the time, and he could get around and where Uncle George just stayed with his unit. Uncle George described the forest as being the most amazing thing. He said it looked as though a great hand had just passed over all those trees, this is in Germany, and just flattened them to the ground. Uncle Woodrow had in his possession at the time of this interview, which he showed it to me, a German pistol that he had disarmed a German officer when they surrendered. He tried to turn the weapon over to his commanding officer, and he said, "No, you disarmed him, you keep it." So that apparently was an okay thing, not like the spoils of war that they just don't do that. Uncle George said obviously it was freezingly cold because there was much of it that was in the winter. He didn't speak much of the battles. He did say that he was in one of the units that was a part of the going into the camps and freeing the Jewish prisoners. He said as they approached, there was no sound. It was eerie. My word, not his. There was not even any bird song, nothing. And I suppose you could call it a pall of death around it. And when he saw what had been done and the piles of bodies and bones, he said, had he not seen it himself, he would never have believed that one human being could do something like that to another human being. Now, people may say that didn't happen, the Holocaust did not happen. They're telling you a lie. It did happen. I had an eyewitness to the end result of it. And I'm so proud of General Eisenhower for making sure that it was recorded and made a part of history so that people would never forget. We mustn't ever forget how fortunate we are to have the freedoms we have because people have fought and died to give them to us. I hope that wasn't too morbid for you, but I did want to tell the truth. Thank you all. I'll see you later, and y'all come back.
Wrong side.